Alright, it is week 3 of 7 in my training cycle, and I'm going to start this video off with some keg pressing that I did. This was 200 pounds flat, and then the pressing that I do in the rest of the video is 225 for the keg. In this week I did the press medley, and I worked up into a 165 dumbbell, a 290 axle, a 300 log, and a 225 keg. In that order, for the reasons that I stated before. Oh, actually, sorry, that dumbbell weight was off. I actually did a 190 dumbbell. And I also worked on some yoke this week. It absolutely destroyed me. You're going to see me dropping the yoke several times. I believe I even dropped it as light as 745. I just kept getting really lightheaded, really kind of felt like I was going to pass out constantly. And that happened more and more as I was increasing the weight. And I went up to 800 pounds and then about 500 on the sled. The 800 pound runs I just kept, my blood pressure went up way too high and just kept kind of passing out. I was feeling very pukey for the pressing day this week, and a little bit exhausted for the lower body yoke and car deadlift simulations that I did this week. Oddly enough, as poorly as the yoke went, and I trained that first, the car deadlift simulation went awesome. I worked up into a 600 by 12 with just a belt and felt really strong. Felt like I could have cranked out 20 if I really wanted to. And one other thing to note is that sled, I actually stacked a farmer's handle sideways so I had more prongs to load plates on, and that's how I was able to load this sled up as heavy as I needed it. I even had additional room if I would have needed it heavier, and I don't think I'll need it any heavier in this training cycle. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my athletic plans after this year's nationals. I've been competing in strongman for quite some time, 6 years I believe, and competing intensely for 5 years. In that time I've won 4 national championships, and hopefully I'll polish it off with the 5th one right here. But I don't plan to stop competing in strongman, but I do plan to chase some other athletic endeavors, including heading back to the wrestling mats until March. I plan to wrestle in the club here at Central Washington University and possibly get all the way down to a 197 weight class. I haven't quite decided on that, but that would be kind of a big cut. That would also line me up pretty well for the CrossFit training that I plan to do up into the next CrossFit Games. I was going to give that a little bit more focus as well, and then focus on Olympic lifting throughout that whole time period. And once the wrestling season is over in March, I will start focusing on Highland Games training with some awesome athletes here in the Northwest, Christy Scott and a couple others. And then I'll also be training strongman throughout that time period, just not as intensely, not as focused on that single endeavor. I'll probably be training that 1 to 2 times a month. And those are my athletic plans for after this year's nationals. I'm really trying to stay focused just on the task at hand. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult because I have been so focused for so long, and this injury really has messed with a lot of my plans, a lot of my prep. And sometimes it can be a little bit of a roller coaster on how my back feels, how my body feels, and that really does lead to a lot of mental breaking down. When your body feels like crap, your mind will follow, and vice versa. And so what I really focus on is keeping a positive attitude And even when I feel like crap, saying that it's going to pass and I'm going to feel great after I rest up and get to nationals. And I'm very excited for the opportunity to compete again, and just staying positive, focusing on the endeavor at hand. And that's about all I got to say this week. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment box below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and Strength Crew TV. I will catch you guys in the next video.